People feel lonely. Yes. And they don't understand why they are feeling that way. You feel lonely. There's so much loneliness in your heart. And when people feel lonely, they will find themselves doing other things, maybe doing drugs, doing other stuff. So people feel lonely and they don't know why they are feeling that way. They don't understand why. I came to answer you. It's because you don't spend time with God. It's that loneliness you're feeling is as a result of not spending time with the Father, your Father in heaven. Not your father in the village, not your physical father, but your heavenly Father. That loneliness is because you're not spending time with Him. He wants time with you. The cure for loneliness is spending time with the Father. The cure for loneliness is spending time with God. The cure for loneliness is one thing. Take time with Him. What happened? You would spend time with Him. What happened, child of God? What happened, minister of the gospel? What happened, man of God? You could read the Bible, you could pray for hours. What happened? Man of God, I became too busy. Really, you became too busy for God? That you cannot now pray for even 2 hours? Yes, they are calling you everywhere. You're preaching everywhere. But what about the Father? You will run out of oil. The loneliness you're feeling is a result of not spending time with the Father. And by the way, he says, son, it's not even loneliness, but it's the lack of the Father's love. That void, that loneliness that you're feeling is lack of the Father's love. And the Father's love is drawn in His presence. When you spend time with Him. When was the last time you took time and you spent time with Him? And you didn't go with your long list of what He must do. Then at times when we're going to the press center, when you take off and we're going to the press center or to the prayer mountain, it's because we have a list. We are pressed. On every side we are pressed. And therefore we take God our issues. Yes, we should take Him. He is our God and our Father. But there's a difference between 2 children here. One that spends time with the Father, another one that has no time with the Father. The only time he spends time with the Father is when he's saying, I want a shoe, I want a car, I want a house. Who will the Father feel to spend time with? The one who spends time with Him. So it's that feeling of loneliness. It's not loneliness. It's lack of Father's love. Take time with Him. You will realize there's no loneliness. You will not feel it. You will not feel lonely. It's the Father's love that you don't have. It's the Father's love that you need. This one broke me. He said, son, I love all my children, but they don't love me back. Wow. That statement, he told me, son, I love all my children. Yes, your Father in heaven loves you. It doesn't matter your weakness or anything. It doesn't matter your issues or anything. He told me, son, I love all my children. But you know what, son? They don't love me back. Do you love Him back? He loves you. He loves you. Jesus told the Samaritan woman, the time is coming and the time is now, that those who worship the Father worship him in truth and in spirit. The Father is searching for those that worship him in truth and in spirit, not just people that are bringing problems. Of course, it's him that we take our problems to, our issues to, our long list of what he must do. But when was the last time you took time and told him, Daddy, I didn't bring my issues. I came to honor you. I came to tell you, you are the air that I breathe. You are lovely, you're caring. Your son has come to honor you. Your daughter has come to bless your name and to spend time with you. When was the last time you loved, you spent time with him, to love on him? He told me, son, I love all my children, but they never love me back. Do you love him? Do you love him? Or is it the time you want to pray is when you're pressed? Is when you remember you have to fast and pray? When was the last time you fasted? Not because you needed him to do something for you, but you just wanted to spend time with him. When was it? When was the last time you woke up at night and spent some 2 hours in his presence? When? When was the last time you set that plate of food aside, that plate of chips and chapati and eggs, those fries that you like, that food you enjoy, when you see it, you're salivating. When was the last time you set it aside to spend time with the Father, to love him back? He said, son, I love all my children, but they never love me back. It's time we turn back to the Father. Run to him, run to his arms and spend time with him. Love him back. What are you waiting for? Spend time with him. We don't love him back. We don't. You prayed for a ministry he gave you. But you know what? You're busy with praying for people. When do you spend time with him? You used to go up to the mountain. What happened, preacher? What happened, prophetess? What happened, bishop? You became too busy. The schedule is tight. I have to preach here. I have to speak to the youth, to the women's conference. What about the Father? What about the Father? They need you everywhere, but the Father also needs you. The Father, your Father in heaven, also needs you. You prayed for a gift he gave you. Love him back. And when you love him, there are things you will never do. There are things you will never do. He loves all his children. He loves us, all of us. But we never love him back. Think into the words that I spoke into your life today. Think about them. Sit down and ponder on those words. The Father's love. When was the last time you cried? Just because you love him. Not because you are oppressed by the enemy. But because when you remember his love, how he died on the cross for you. How the Father gave his son for you. Wow. How he carried the heavy cross, you cry. Or you're an African man. Let me leave you alone. You're a man in the society. Men don't cry. When was the last time you broke before him and told him that you love him, and you told him that without you I'm nothing? You're the air that I breathe. Okay, take some papers, begin to write. Take some foolscaps, write on them. Tell him that you are this to me, you are this to me. One is full, put aside. You are addressing the Father. Love him back. Spend time with him. Don't turn your back on him. Run to him and love.